New developments following the FBI's search on Donald Trump's residence. A federal judge hinting that she will yield to the Trump team's request for a special master to review the documents seized from Mar-a-Lago. Let's go right to ABC's Mary Alice Parks at the Justice Department. Mary Alice, good morning.
Whit, good morning. Yeah, the judge reviewing this request from the Trump team has now asked the government to submit their arguments in this case. But she wrote yesterday that she has, quote, preliminary intent to grant this request. Overnight, a federal judge in Florida scheduling a hearing around former President Trump's request for a court-appointed special master, an outside expert to review the evidence FBI agents seized at Mar-a-Lago earlier this month.
They're asking for a special master because of this idea they have of things being subject to executive privilege. It's not a crazy notion. Executive privilege works differently, though, and it's not absolute. It can be overridden by significant government interests.
In addition to the ongoing criminal investigation at the Department of Justice, the Director of National Intelligence Saturday confirming her office started a new assessment into any potential risk to national security that could have come as the result of classified materials being kept unsecured at Mar-a-Lago.
What they're going to be trying to determine is who had access to this material. It was found in different rooms, but it was commingled with non-classified materials, including things like newspapers, clippings, and frankly, just junk. If this were to get into the wrong hands, what would be our specific threat to national security?
The newly unsealed affidavit that prosecutors used to justify their need for a search warrant of Trump's home, detailing how Mar-a-Lago did not have any secure authorized location for the storage of classified information, and that some of the documents the government had retrieved in the months before the search had information from clandestine human sources, meaning our nation's spies.
Disclosing these methods place all Americans at risk, because if the government can't use those information collection and investigative methods to gather intelligence, they can't stop threats.
I asked President Biden Friday about Trump's claims he used his presidential powers to declassify the material.
Well, I just want to know I've declassified everything in the world. I'm president. I can do it all. Come on.
Now, another part of the newly unsealed documents that really stuck out, the Justice Department said that the government had well-funded concerns that steps may be taken to frustrate or otherwise interfere with this investigation. That, plus the statements that they had repeatedly asked the Trump team to turn over any remaining documents, has a lot of legal experts this morning wondering whether investigators are looking into whether former President Trump was intentionally not cooperating. Eva?
Mary Alice Parks for us there. Thank you. And let's bring in ABC News political director Rick Klein. So let's start, Rick, with there's been a lot of speculation after the search of Trump's Florida home, but what can we expect to see next now that the redacted affidavit's been released?
Yeah, even now that we know the hearing is going to happen on the potential special master, and you've got the intelligence community conducting its assessment, it's possible we start to get more details reviewed by authorities that get to the meat of what's actually in these documents. For all that we know about the markings on them and about the classification settings, we don't know what they were actually about. There's just bare bones details on that. One of the things the special master request includes here from the judge in Florida is a more detailed assessment, a more detailed list, itemized list of what's on these documents. And to the point that Mary Alice made here, the broader issue about whether there's an obstruction investigation that's part of this, that is the allegation that's in this affidavit, and that has come into view with a lot more clarity in the last couple days. And I think the next few days are going to tell us even more about what kinds of documents, what kinds of information we're actually talking about.
Let's turn now to another big headline that came out of Washington this week. President Biden announced student loan relief. It was a campaign promise, but it got really mixed reviews from the American public and major blowback from both Republicans and Democrats. What does this reaction tell us about the current state of politics?
We are so close to an election in November that it's impossible to take out the political implications. And that's where this gets really interesting, because you've got many Republicans who you might expect saying, look, this is a giveaway. This is an attempt to buy votes. But you also have some Democrats, some progressive groups saying, wait a second, this isn't nearly enough. It's going to take a while to implement, to actually kick in. Look, President Biden, it was clear on this. He made a campaign pledge, but he wasn't really keen on delivering it. It took him a long time into the presidency to get to where he got. And now this comes just a couple months before the election at a very heightened political time. I'll tell you, though, the Democrats I've talked to, bottom line is they are happier to be talking about doing something than focusing on what they haven't been able to get done.
Rick Klein, always nice to have you on a Sunday. And just a reminder, tune in to This Week later this morning. Following President Biden's student loan forgiveness announcement, George Stephanopoulos will go one-on-one exclusively with Senators Bernie Sanders and Roy Blunt on how the plan will impact Americans.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.